Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of OverVoice Season 3. Today I am joined by the lovely Alex Bui. Alex, would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Bui. I am a voice actor based in San Antonio, Texas. I've
Ooh,
been doing voice acting for a little over 2 years now,
nice.
repped by Vox. I've been doing some indie projects here and there, auditions for them and there, things like that. What else do you know? What else do you want to know from me?
Everything.
I can I
Lift,
can I can go all day.
oh, please do, lift everything.
Well, so let's see. I was born in Dallas at some
Okay,
hospital. I remember the name. I was raised in Plano. Fast forward a little bit. I went to undergrad at UNT in Denton. Did some student-run musical organization there. You won't find the videos online. I made
oh,
sure of it. I've made sure of it.
okay.
Did some choir for the community college there as well too. I can't sing well. I like to think I do. And then I went to pharmacy school. So finished all that fun stuff back in 2021. Always had an interest in acting and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm done now. I have a job. I can afford to do this fun little thing. And here I am now, having a good time, making friends, meeting people like
Hmm.
you,
Oh, thank you.
and just kind of living life, man.
Hell yeah. So you took the safe
Definitely.
route. Very, very good. I'm really glad.
Yes. Yes, I became a doctor first. I
Oh,
did the
you became
thing.
a
I
doctor
did the
first.
thing. Yeah, I got the doctorate of pharmacy. So
Oh, my parents will be proud of you.
I'm proud of you, though. I'm proud of
Oh,
you.
thank you, Alex. I appreciate it.
Of
Are you
course.
still a doctor? Do you still practice or no?
Yeah, no, that's my day job. So I
Oh, hell
graduated in
yeah.
2021 with that, and I do that 7 to 3:30. I did evening for a while, so that made doing voice acting a little bit different. So I was able to do stuff in the morning,
Mm.
but on the flip side, I wasn't able to see my wife, so
Oh yeah.
she's number one. We
Mm.
went to day shift, and I was still able to do a lot of the stuff based on different times because it's nice that a lot of the Pacific time stuff is 2 hours behind. So I still
True.
have the ability to do that. But then when classes start at 6 p.m. there, it's 8 p.m. here,
I
ending
see.
9 p.m. there, it's 11 p.m. here. And I'm like, dead for the next day. But it's worth it. I love it. I
Hell
love it.
yeah. And I gotta ask, what was like the jump from, studying pretty much like medicine to voice acting and kind of balancing both in your life?
Honestly, I think that's one of the things that I've noticed in general, scrubbing through social media or just, being in classes or just talking to people in general, not even voice over related. A lot of going through the traditional schooling from from undergrad to graduate school and stuff like that really kind of instilled some kind of responsibility in how I approach stuff. Not that nobody who doesn't do it isn't responsible, right? But the way I've always said it is that, you know, school's not for everyone, but being educated is, right? There's
Yeah,
multiple ways to get to certain things. And so I think because of my path, that helped me develop like certain types of approaches to subjects or how to tackle struggles, or I don't call it strengths and weaknesses. I call it strengths and lesser strengths that I
mm.
can then become, stronger in. Did that answer your question? I ramble a lot.
Oh no, yeah, you actually answered like both of my questions in one. Because like the first question I usually ask is, how'd you get into voice acting? What's your journey been like? You kind of did that already, so
You're
like
right.
you went above and beyond. So hell yeah, just don't even
Again,
worry, man.
if you give me a mic and like airtime, I will probably talk too much, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. We never know. I
Well,
could
on
be
this show, it's a good thing. I can promise you that. As long as you don't say anything really offensive, which I doubt, but I think
I
we'll be fine.
I try not to be, and that's one of the things too. It's like, growing up in general, like going to school and um, community college to undergraduate to like pharmacy school. You see so many walks of life that
Mm,
you either sink or swim when it comes to being in a social situation or just in life in general. Because you know we're all raised in a specific lens, right?
yeah,
When you go to school, you learn to put on different lenses or different hats and how other people think, breathe, and be human. And
yeah,
so to be happy, just don't be a dick.
exactly.
I mean, it's as
It's
simple
it's
as that.
it's that simple, you know. But yeah, I also wanted to ask because voiceover, it's typically seen as very competitive. And I
Hmm.
also know in medicine, at least when studying, it can also be very competitive. So like, were they able to were you able to like have find that sort of like I don't know, like that sort of um I don't know that sense of home when you were able to jump into voiceover, like because you're kind of used to that sort of competition, I would assume.
So yes, I feel like surprisingly enough, I'm actually kind of a shy person. But you know, when push comes to shove, or just like I get in the mood, I'm like chatty chatty chat.
Yeah.
So during pharmacy school, I will say, it's tough. For anyone who wants to do it, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money.
Mm.
But like the first year for most of the pharmacy schools, right? Yeah, everyone comes in at different levels, and we're all taught in the same like pharmacotherapy classes, biochem classes, pchem classes, and things like that. And we're all coming in at different knowledge levels. So it was definitely competitive then in the way of getting the best score to join Rokai, which is like, the cream of the crop organization, right? I was back Rokai, middle Rokai, if anything, actually. But that competition, honestly, I was very much against the grain when it came to pharmacy school because a lot of people are very type A, right? Study, study,
Mm.
study, study up until the exam, review a little bit afterwards because they're stressed out, which is understandable, right?
Yeah.
I was the type of person who stopped studying the day before the exam, only reviewed, never learned anything new the day before the exam, and I always made time to go see movies. So
Yeah.
I am a big supporter and voice of self care, and so for me, my self care was going to go see a movie 1 or 2 times a week if I could. Back
Mm.
then, it was with a very certain red card that costed very very little to join the membership,
Mm.
and it was free pretty much to use, and I'm pretty sure I caused them to go bankrupt.
Aw, look what you've done.
That year when I did, it was 2017. I think I saw 100 plus movies in one
Oh
year.
wow, okay.
Yeah, I
What was
love I
the what was
I
the
love
last
media.
what was the last movie you saw in 2017? Like the last movie you
Ooh,
saw with them before they went bankrupt.
shoot, 2017, man. There was so many movies back then. Was that when no, Infinity War came out, I think
That was 2018.
18, right? So, ooh, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
There's so many movies. But I love media. I love movies, anime, video games. Like that's constantly what I'm doing. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm constantly posting about movies I see,
Hell yeah.
things like that. I'm about to go see some other movie later this evening that may or may not have been doing well so far. Just going to go see it just because it seems like a fun ride, but I'm not
Oh yeah.
expecting much out of it.
Does the movie happen to rhyme with Wedpool and Dolverine by any chance?
Oh, no, I've seen that twice,
Oh hell yeah, same.
actually. But no, this one definitely there's a border to it.
Mm.
But anyways, back to the other thing that I was rambling for. So the competition, things like that, I knew there was competition, but I never really played the game like that in
Yeah.
pharmacy school. I just focused on me, asked for help when I needed it.
Yeah.
Long story shorter, I struggled with my exams. I made 60s for like the first year. Started with a 2.4.
Mm.
Figured out I didn't study well, not study well, but I didn't study well and actually take exams well. Professor found out, said I can take an exam in one, by myself in a room.
Oh yeah.
That next exam, I got a 90.
Oh,
From then
wow.
on, I took my class, what is it, my exams by myself, made straight A's from that point on, and I,
Yeah.
just went above a 3.
That should be an
Uh,
option more often because being in the exam room with a bunch of people is terrifying. It's daunting.
Oh yeah, no, it was 120 people typically, so clicking, sniffling, bottles clinking, and all that is very, very
Oh
distracting.
yeah.
So I had to go to the SSD, which is the Student Services for Disabilities, and I was diagnosed with unspecified ADD.
Oh
So
okay.
that way the school can allow accommodations, which a
I
thing,
see.
and it's probably not off. But that relating over to VO, as you asked, is I think I've noticed there are people who are competitive. Yeah.
Mm,
I mean,
for
and they're
sure.
rightfully so. It's a very engaging, very um, populated industry. New veterans and all of the whole spectrum of it. And so honestly, everyone says like, there's no competition, but I think honestly, in my opinion, there is friendly competition between
Yeah,
everyone,
that's more like it.
right?
Yeah.
It should be friendly competition. We're like, oh dang it, I wanted that role, but you know what? You did it. Good job.
Yeah.
right? So that's how I approach it. Like there have been times where I've auditioned for some very, very cool things, Vikram. Very cool things. I'm just like, holy snap! I got to audition for this.
Mm.
That's so cool, right? But some of them I didn't get. But the
Yeah.
fact that I got to do it,
Yeah, man. That's an honor
that's
in of itself.
that's humbling. That makes me feel good about where I'm at, but it makes me also feel fueled to do better, to
Yeah.
become better, right? So the competition is not necessarily against between you and me. It's between me and my yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Me and the last audition. How can my last audition make this next one better? That's why we take classes, right? That's why
Exactly,
we just
man.
throw auditions, right? We should audition for as much as we can, but don't do it just for the numbers.
Yeah,
Do
for
it
real.
for the experience
Yeah,
numbers,
and
right?
like
Do it for the experience.
getting in front of just performing in front of people. That's really all it is. And the director just happens to be watching, then cool. But yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude, I totally agree. I used to be very competitive, but like in the worst way possible.
Mhm.
Like, dude, it was like I take it from me, man. Do not be negatively competitive. Be friendly competitive. Because like if you're
100%.
negatively competitive, then if it like that I wouldn't. Yeah, it's more like that sense of like I need to win. I need to win all the time. You're gonna be really bitter. So like yeah, friendly competition is so good. I really
Right.
love it.
And that's the thing too. You're young, Vikram, right? And so is a
Yeah,
lot of people in especially on social media. Give yourself grace, you know?
yeah,
We're human, right? We
mm,
that's what everyone in our classes tell us, right? Be the human character to make that character come to life. So don't forget to treat yourself as human too, right? We
oh
make
for sure.
mistakes. We are imperfect. If you get upset or you want to just really beat that one guy who who always gets the world above you, sure, that's fine.
Yeah,
Just your feelings are valid. Your feelings are always valid, whether you're angry, sad, happy, whatever.
yeah,
It's the actions
yeah,
that can and will be judged.
mm,
So just,
yeah.
turn the negativity into a positive, right? Negative times negative is positive,
Oh,
things
that's
like that,
very
right?
true. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I yeah, 2024 has definitely been like the healing arc for me.
Mm.
2025 is gonna be pop off season or something. I don't know. But
It's
yeah.
okay, and you're gonna have multiple. You have
Oh,
multiple
for
healing
sure. Yeah.
seasons, multiple pop-off seasons, right?
Yeah.
You're in it, man. You're in it.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, I also wanted to ask like because you mentioned you wanted to do voice acting for like such a long time. So
Mhm.
like with like any cartoons or video games, anime that kind of like inspired you to like take the plunge?
I've always wanted to do acting, but like I said, I've been shy for my almost entire life and only broke out a little bit in undergrad. But really, what kind of made me feel like, dang, I could do this. And you'll see me comment on his tweets all the time, or every now and then, or retweet it. But Alex Lee,
Yeah, I love
like,
that, man.
man, I'll be the one to admit it. I don't watch dubs often, but I've slowly started watching dubs, and it was because of him. With
Yeah.
with Demon Slayer, him as Senetsu, he it was
Oh
it
yeah.
was this YouTube video where he was doing like some behind the scenes thing, and like spaghetti was like on the screen. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
like seeing him perform as Senetsu, seeing him perform as Thorfinn, man, that's really what kind of pushed me to do it, because I
Yeah.
was like, it's all about the representation, right? And that's the other argument and other thing that all of us are fighting for, right?
Mhm.
I felt seen, I felt represented.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm answering your question. That's kind of really what pushed me into VA voice acting more. But the ones, I mean, I've always watched anime in general and played video games. So those were always things in the back of my mind. And I would be that one guy who would just like voice the voiceless dialogue.
Yeah.
But that was the push.
Yeah, I love Alex Lee. He's a really great guy. I
Hmm.
haven't met him yet, but I hope to.
Me too. I hope
For
so too.
yeah, it's really interesting because for me, like my biggest inspiration was Kellen Goff, and he still is. He's
Hmm.
definitely still is. But with Alex, it's different because he's 3 years older than I am, and he's also Asian represent. So like
Hmm.
I just love seeing him do well. I just love the energy he brings. It's really great. It's something that I try to. I wouldn't say try to replicate, but it's like something I want to like be more open with, being
Right.
more energetic and friendly towards people and stuff like that. Because
Right.
I think it's a really nice trait to have for me personally.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, no, I would love to meet him someday too. He seems like a joy to be around.
Yeah. I also just like he's like one of the like few voice actors like who I watch like Twitch streams, because he does Twitch streams every now and then. It's
I
like,
see his clips on his Twitter and
yeah,
they just look chaotic.
yeah. Oh my god, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. I remember him doing an interview around I don't know, I think it was this year,
Hmm.
talking about his journey. And like the when I heard it, it was like, Jesus Christ, wow. It's something. I won't say what it is, but it's like it's really inspiring. So I
Right.
definitely recommend if you have the time to like, listen and pop it on in the background. It's really good.
I've heard things, bits and pieces like how he learned English and things like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, that's awesome. Like power to him, and I hope it's an inspiration to like many other people too.
Oh, for
So,
sure. Yeah. But yeah, I also want to add, this is a purely manifestation round right now, but are there
okay.
any things you would really want to be in someday?
Ooh, I love that tweet whenever it goes through.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, if I had to pick three things right off the top of my head, anything Fire Emblem,
mm,
also support the strike,
yep.
um, Final Fantasy, and then whew, what else? What else? Those two are the big ones, and honestly, Persona.
Mm,
Those are the big three off the top of my head. Video game wise, shoot, when you go into shows or universes, you got Marvel, DC. Throw me into what else? Power Rangers somehow. Throw me into
yeah.
like Lord of the Rings. I love that stuff. But yeah, no, I put me in. If you're listening, the powers that be. I want to do anime remotely.
Oh,
Put all
hell
the
yeah.
crap up there.
That'd be great. But yeah, I think you're in Texas, right? So I think you should
Yeah.
be able to do it in person there. I hear it's pretty big over there.
So I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
So I'm about 5 hours away on a good
Oh,
day.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I have the capability to travel if I need it. But you know what? That's a whole other conversation where if it happens, it happens. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, no big deal. There's so much more out there outside of anime. As much as I want to be in it,
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a good time with everything else too. So,
Hell yeah.
mhm.
But I do hope you make it to Crunchyroll in some at some capacity. You do
We'll
like one
see.
drive, one session, maybe more.
Right?
Hopefully more.
Exactly. Just or just hang out there, take PTO. Hang out there for a week. Do whatever I
Yeah.
gotta do.
Whatever seems great because
Or
like
manifest, right?
yeah, exactly. I hear like they host like a lot of in-person classes, like voiceover classes.
Yeah.
I haven't been to an in-person voiceover class since like 2019. It's not very common here in New Zealand, but I
It's
don't know.
not really common here in San Antonio, so
Yeah,
everything's remote. Everything's
yeah.
remote.
I love remote. It's so good. I hope remote anime and more remote things continue to thrive.
I know
Um,
some studios, so specifically, I think in the LA scene, they are willing to do
yeah,
remote, but it depends, of course, like on the situation. Because I think
yeah.
there were for solo leveling,
Mm,
Caitlyn was able to do or was able to like really vouch for a lot of representation. So
mm,
there's a lot of people over in LA because I think they filmed specifically recorded specifically in Dallas
yeah.
that they were able to vouch for. So it just really depends, on what they can push. So
Hell yeah.
fingers crossed for everyone who
Fingers
wants that.
crossed, man.
Hmm.
But yeah. My last question to you, Alex, is
Sure.
what uh, what keeps you going, man?
Ooh, what keeps me going in general or for voice acting?
Ooh, both.
I would say what keeps me going in general is this is a cliche thing. It's want to take care of my wife, my family, stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
sweet.
And she can take care of herself. That's for sure. But I want to make her life as easy as possible, and I want to also enjoy my life too. I'm an adult kid with money, so I
Oh
spend
yeah.
stupidly sometimes. But like, what really keeps me going is just just to live, man. Experience, travel, my dogs, things like
Mm.
that. Voice acting. Shoot, that's a good question. You know? I mean, I have goals, right? Those are my
Yeah,
goals. Those are what keep me going. But I think the thing that just really keeps me going is just having these interactions, these classes,
yeah,
making friends. You know, the journey's the friends you made along the way.
yes,
I
sir.
say that cornily, but it's true, right?
Yeah,
But no, they keep me going. I have my circles that I chat with. I have seeing everyone win. Seeing people grow. I see seeing people make milestones. There was somebody I saw earlier saying that they got to their 10-year anniversary and they are
nice.
finally doing some specific thing. And I was like, that's awesome.
Hell
That's
yeah,
really cool. So seeing them succeed, I'm happy. You know,
hell yeah,
as corny as it that is, I don't like people seeing people sad, suffering. So when
yeah,
people are happy within reason, uh, I'm happy too.
hell yeah,
That's what keeps me going.
hell yeah, man. I think because you said you mentioned you've been doing this for 2 years, right?
Yeah, just over 2 years and 2 months tomorrow.
Oh
Actually,
wow,
it was June
congratulations.
16th. It was June 16th. So
Nice, dude. For 2 years, you've been killing it, bro. So I imagine you're gonna do a lot of amazing things in the future. So keep
right.
going, man.
So thank you. I hope so too. So it's all part of the fun, man.
Yeah, man.
Ups and downs, right?
I also got asked, is your wife also a doctor as well?
No, she is. So she's smarter than me. Number one. In case she's watching this, she's number one. Smarter than me.
Number one.
Even if she wasn't watching this, she is way smarter than me. She got a biochem degree. I got just
Oh
a
wow,
biology degree. But no, she worked various things outside of that. But she's not a pharmacist or anything like that too. She thought about med school, but figured she didn't want to. She found out she didn't want to be in the limelight, which me
that's
talking
fair.
about it makes her in the limelight. So
Yeah,
but no, she's smarter than me. So
hell yeah. But yeah, Alex, thank you so much for coming on. This interview comes to a close. Thank you so much for
yes,
coming on,
of
man.
course.
You've been an
Thanks for
absolute
having
pleasure.
me. Thank
But
you. Thank you.
but yeah, Alex, who would you like to see in the Overvoice hot seat next? I'm gonna put you in the hot spot right now.
Ooh, who would I like to see next? We should just get a dartboard and just throw some
Yeah,
people out
honestly,
there.
we should.
Just get a dart. But there's too many people. Honestly, there's way too many people for me to just have to call out because, like, dang, everyone here has a journey to share. Everyone has a
Yeah,
story to bring to the table, and that's the beautiful part.
yeah,
Kind of like what we learn in class, right? Even though
yes,
people
sir.
are doing the same scene over and over and over again, everyone brings something different.
Yeah,
So I got no names, Vikram. I got
hell
no
yeah.
names,
Damn, that's a
but
really good analogy. That's the best answer I've ever received for one of those. I appreciate that.
of course. But again, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hell yeah, man.
You are fun, bundle of joy, and
Oh, thank you, man.
good luck to you, man.
Hell yeah. But Alex, where can people find you on social media and all that? I can
You
link it
can
in the
find me.
description.
Oh, sure. You can find me on Twitter at Twitter X. We're gonna call it Twitter.
Yeah.
At this buoy floats. And if you really want to find me on Instagram, which some people do, it's the same thing. This buoy floats. I don't post much on Instagram or on social media in general, but you can find me at this buoy floats.
Hell yeah. I'll also put your website in the
Oh,
description as
that
well.
too. I forgot.
Should
Yeah, I'm a voice actor. Yeah, I have a voice. I have an email. What is it? I have a website too. So Alex Bui VO at alexbuivo.com for my email. So the
Yeah.
website's alexbuivo.com. I'm having a brain fart right now, Vikram.
What time is it over there actually?
It's actually only not even 9 p.m. yet, but it's been a
Nah,
long
man,
day.
that's that we're getting into the unhinged hours, so I totally understand.
Oh no, after midnight is unhinged unfiltered Alex.
Oh
So
yeah. It's I always hear the thoughts of like, never have thoughts past midnight. It's so true.
yeah,
It's
never
so
do
true.
anything after 2 a.m. or something like that. So
Oh
luckily,
yeah.
I'm always in my house.
Yeah, 3 a.m. is the cursed hour for me. Like I try not to stay up to 3 a.m. these days, but my God, it's so
Sometimes you
tempting.
do.
Yeah,
Sometimes you do.
sometimes you do, man. But yeah, Alex, thank you so much for coming on. You've been an absolute bundle of joy yourself, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next interview. Bye, everybody.